All right. Hey, we are live and recording. Let me see if I need to. I shouldn't need to send out any invites. The whole community should be able to see this. Let me just double check. All right, I'm pretty sure we're solid. Let's just I'll wait for the folks. Matter of fact, while I'm waiting, let's see, what should we play? Right. A little chromacopia. Now, I don't even want to do that because I'm going to end up sharing this stream over on YouTube, and copyright DMCA is a little bit of a hoe lately. I ain't gonna lie to you. So let's stay underground if we could.
Sorry I didn't call, I promise you should fall back. Problems never resolved, they follow you on the walk. My mommy be in my thoughts, my body be in the tall glass. But I break the fall, it obviously ain't your fault. You can finally break your dog tag. This thing involved, they dying to see me caught. Bad tired of staying strong, they lying to see the song pad. Greatest fall, the light we created gone black. How you can say we dogs? You got me on the wrong path. I play it off, trying to say I'm off that. Writing don't make it calm to remind me where I was taught that. Fight to remake a cause, it's Mike in the name of all cats. Ice me, I made them dogs. A giant, I make the walls cry. This will make me soft. The triumph will make my jaw snap. Why I can stand on my alliance, what gave you hard. This hybrid contain a car. Please don't come out when I'm laying low and stay seen. Please don't come out when I'm laying low and stay seen. This shit ain't but a game, this some shit that every king. Fuck you doing, please staring further from the G. What the fuck you doing, G? Ain't no one staring through that people. Please don't jack my seats up on that home for the repo. This shit ain't about a timber, I ain't going at my G's. You gon' come out when I'm laying low and steady seen. This shit ain't but a game, this some shit that every king. Fuck you doing, please staring further from the G. What the fuck you doing, G? Ain't no one staring through that people. Please don't jack my seats up on that home for the repo. This shit ain't about a timber, I ain't going at my G's. You gon' come out when I'm laying low and steady seen. This shit ain't but a game, this some shit that every king. Jack my seats up on that home for the repo. This shit ain't about a timber, I ain't going at my G's. Know the cause, just to be the bars, don't come at no expense. Arms length distance, we never too close to hit. They never could go to stretch. I'm balancing on the limb. With pressure applied, we win. I'm telling my dog sick. Never deny I did it. I feel like the stars twin. I feel it 4, 5, 6. Put belief in my right wrist. New degree, new device. We new lease on his life. Can't treat me like no side mission. I'm keeping up hot dick. I come with the high screen. I might double cross him. I'm finding an outlet. Driving the township. The river mouth kiss. I'm in the dial drippy. Pray out the crown fit. Look what I call queen. I couldn't stop speeding. Even the high streets. Keeping my side clean. They glow with the mob. I pray all the malfeasance. I'm keeping my mouth sealed. You know who you are. I see it. I couldn't stop speeding. Even the high street. Keeping my side clean. They glow with the mob. You don't need to talk. I pray all the malfeasance. I'm keeping my mouth sealed shut. You know who you are. They glow with the mob. They glow with the mob.
As the story goes, young black nigga had a glory hole. I never met a bitch that I could fuck for life. And if I ever did, I probably think of my wife. I got two things going for me. That's my cash flow. Plus I heard bitches like it when you an asshole, so I don't mind them. Put my time in. Rock to the midnight stop. On to the disco. Coming out clean with that wrist glow. Opposite of miserable. My thoughts exactly. Me and her will never happen like an autumn attack. I don't give $2, one shit, or 8 care. B-side, B-I see you at the daycare. You got knocked up, cause that's what hoes do. I swear, it's like a fucking high school ritual. Bitches wanna trap me up, live on my residuals that I ain't got yet. So one more time, I will never, ever, ever be the nigga to fuck with. And you might consider me selfish, but it's my youth and I use it however I fucking wish. Few more bars left, fuck that shit. Fuck that shit.
The Eclectic City, the Eclectic City, the Eclectic City.
I see you in here. Go ahead and unmute yourself, bro.
What up?
Chilling and killing. You know? Oh man, we just in here vibing, bro.
I see.
Just
got back from eating.
Word. Yeah. What'd you get?
Had to get Taco Bell.
Word. I'm over here on some Costco pizza. Costco pizza is that lick. If you know, you know.
That's the good stuff, man. I'm still getting over this sickness.
I see. Yeah, Costco got the little $10 holla. You get that large pizza for $10 all day.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that, man.
Yeah,
I'm a Sam. I got Sam's right up from my house, so I normally go up there.
Word.
I think they do. I think it's like $8.75 for a whole pizza. I normally just get the slice though. It's just two slices.
$2. Yep. And shit's like, I think it's $2 with a drink or something.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, Broke Boy Podcast. You know how I go. No.
Nah, that's a wholesale podcast.
Yeah, no, low-key, like, even when money's up, I do Costco just because, like, it makes sense to hold that money, bro.
Yeah, man, you save a lot of money. I feel like that way. I didn't like going out to like just one local store or like one Walmart. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh man, so I think I got your album queued up. It's a little tricky.
Hold on, bro. That's what I was about to work on right now. I can
No, I got it. I got it up on here. Yeah, I do. I definitely got it. Okay, so I can just hit play. You think you tell me, man, you want to start from the very beginning? Actually, you know what? Here, this is where we should start. We should, first of all, Eclectic City. We're in the city. We are in Quan Pharoahz's Pyramid District, about to review the INCEPTIONS instrumental album. For anybody who didn't tune in to our last joint, which by the way is doing numbers as far as like people listening to it on YouTube, so shout out to you. But anybody who didn't check that out, you want to tell us like what the album's really about, like how it came to be?
Yeah, man. How it came to be, like I said, is really weird. How it came to be, like I said, because I made the album artwork for it like in 2012. Some of these, like the beats back in like 2011 that it starts like the intro with is in a whole completely different DAWs. It's like even different eras of DAWs that I was like using. Like during 2011, I was using Sony Acid Pro during the time. I think it was like I had like caught it on like sale or something. At like I want to say it was either at like a thrift store or like Guitar Center or something, man. But it was like $8.99 or something like
Yeah, I
that,
was
bro.
going to say probably in the little bin, because I remember Sony Asset used to always be in the bins. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
man. I was like, man, I need something to like produce with, because I hadn't produced like since part one. Like, pretty much, you guys can like kind of get an update back in high school, like where it pretty much, in a sense, all started, where I started to take it more seriously, shall I say. And after that, it was supposed to be like a album, like where I have like, you know, my vocals on it and everything, but it ended up not. You know, I do have vocals on there, like my vocals on certain tracks, like the Spaceship Introduction, and what's the other one? Oh, R&R, and then shout out to my homie Ryan Harrington. I believe we did that track back in 2015 and 2016, the Fire cover for Ed Sheeran. He killed that cover, man. We had a lot of fun making that cover. Shout out to Urban Doctor as well, in Santa Maria out there in Rota, Spain. Really dope engineer / producer / pretty much everything, like how I am, songwriter. You know, the list goes on that guy. So yeah, shout out to those guys. Shout out to my team again too. Zeitgeist, Josh Dawson, Chris Aiello, Escobar, and Walla, Bryce Alford. That was a lot of large. It pretty much inspiration came a lot from making like this album too, like along the way, like pretty much around 2015 region. And then I also have to say shout out to DJ Zombie too out there in Philadelphia. I bought the MPC from him. That's when I transitioned over like all the way. I haven't switched back over like really ever since.
When did the MPC? Because all right, so in short, like this album, it spans 9 years. It goes from 2011 to 2019. So in the beginning, Sony Asset, and then around, would you say like 2015 is when you switched over into the MPC?
Yeah, 2015. That's when I switched over to the MPC around the 808 Dreams, and yeah, the 808s and Heartbreaks Dreams track. I was using the GarageBand in 2011. That was like the scratches. That's a GarageBand. I had like switched back over to the GarageBand, and
Okay.
I was using GarageBand and Logic actually around during that time, and a little bit of Pro Tools. Yep.
Man, I'm excited to listen to it again. I gave it so far like one like active listen, and I had it kind of in the background as I was doing stuff, maybe like throughout the week. But
yeah, man, it's perfect for it too. It's perfect. It's perfect background music in my opinion. It's perfect movement, motion music. You know what I mean? It's perfect dynamic music too. Like I said, you get to see the progression. Yeah, it's super great for writing. Like I said, and as there's certain, I know like there's certain producers out there and stuff that can really, you know, how to produce and stuff or whatever, and beat makers even also like they'll probably make fun of me on those certain tracks in the beginning. Like there's one track I can't remember.
We'll get to it. Like when we get to it, I want you to tell that story, because the beauty of an instrumental album is it's like a music bed. Like you can tell the stories as the track's playing, because I don't want just people to tune in just to hear it. They can check it out, audius, and the link will be down in the description here. But like, you know, as I'm listening to it, I definitely want you to be able to give your narration. I'm gonna let you get full flow. You know these songs in and out. You know what it took to make them. You know the stories behind them. So if you need me to press pause on the track, if you need me to run a track back, we can. You should we start in order? Should I just start with Walk On By?
Yeah, you can start on Walk On By / Dreams. That was a really fun track. That was pretty much me coming back into the production game, into the music game back again. And that was like with Sony Acid.
For sure. Love the sample.
Yeah, appreciate you, man. Tap a Doja Cat.
Yeah.
I did it first.
And so now this was obviously before, this was mostly GarageBand and Sony Acid, mostly, right?
This was all Sony Acid, right?
Okay.
The Eclectic City, the Eclectic City, the Eclectic City, the Eclectic City, the Eclectic City.
If you hear any glitches like that, it's just because it's a I have a high fidelity Bluetooth, using Bluetooth 3. So if I like move an inch, it kind of, will interrupt. So my bad.
I know, that's all good, man. I'm over here coughing up a storm.
I see you, I'll break down and I see you, I'll break down and cry. Now you really gotta go, so walk on by. Make believe you never see the tears cry. Now you really gotta go, so walk on by. Make believe you never see the tears cry. Now you really gotta go, so walk on by.
Yeah, I love this part. A little jazzy transition.
Yeah, this beat was super fun to make.
Was really dope too. I like how concise the whole project is. Like, I think it's maybe an hour, the whole shit. Like, so it's very like consumable. Like a nice, you got to drive to work or whatever. It's like that type of vibe.
Yeah. But I think this track or the whole album is like 3 hours and like 1 minute, like exactly. I think I still remember.
Really?
Yeah, and then that's what I was talking to my homie about. Shout out to TE, Lil Vision. That's like the Lost Pharaohs crew, and also my little brother, that's Recoy. Shout out to all of them. There's a lot of entendres and a lot of references that you can see, like even within the album art visualizer that I like didn't like really intentionally make, because like I said, like I made the cover art for it in 2012, and then like I just brought it to life with AI. And then I just told the AI to just animate, this picture, and then I just kept on running that same concept over and over again. And it just, it made, what you see, and I put the clips together, like, and it's funny like how I did it, because like it went like literally like in every era, like every hairstyle I fucking had, like, excuse my language, like
No,
it
you
was
good.
just like it's crazy to see it like that. I was looking at it, man, and I was just like, this is crazy. This track right here is called Scratches. This was made on
It
I
keeps
made this
skipping.
out in Honolulu. I made this out in Honolulu and off of GarageBand.
Okay, word.
Uh,
You know what's crazy? So I must not have listened to the whole album, low key, because like I really thought it was only like 40 something minutes.
yeah, I got like certain like I gotta wait to unlock it. Like all you gotta do is pay. But what I can do right now is unlock the whole album for us. So that's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah, well, so okay, so I guess then
So
what
if
I'm
everybody
saying.
tuning in right now, man, this is an exclusive thing, because that's what I wanted this album to be too. Is like I said, it's an audio visual physical album. We got the CDs and the vinyls and cassette tapes even coming to you guys really soon. It's also going to be on all platforms on November 3rd, I believe it starts. And yeah, man, I'm really excited about that. This is an album that's going to keep on growing. I'm also going to be putting out like a little bit of like a 10 collection piece on like the little blockchain, the Sound of XYZ. Shout out to that platform.
Sounds.
Yeah. Yeah, and we're just gonna keep it rocking, like that. This is an album that's gonna continue to grow with you, though, and like even in price, like I said, it was $1 in the beginning when I first dropped it, and it's just been growing ever since. It's gonna continue to grow every day. I feel like, especially the more that demand that it comes with it. And that's like really a part of, the INCEPTIONS album, coming from, that Forward album, and even coming from the, this is just a demo mixtapes from the part ones, all those part ones of Quan Pharoahz projects, emerging from that darkness. And then, finally, this is where you see him finally like getting sucked into a black hole pretty much, and like that time machine, and now he's like in the ether, and that's why he had to go back into time. Like now that he went back into time, I went back into all these things that I used to make. This is one of my favorite ones too. I think this is Must Be Dreaming. This was made back in 2011. Same thing, made in Hawaii. I made like these like back to back, like one after another type of stuff. And I had a whole mixtape of this.
Now, like how many different influences? Because obviously, like I hear the 808s and Heartbreaks influence in some of these earlier ones, but what other like influences were you having at the time?
Let's see. I was still listening to Black Sabbath and stuff during the time. Shout out to Ozzy Osbourne and all them during the time. I was listening to 808 and Heartbreak. I was listening to what was out during that time? What else was out during 2011, man?
2011, what we probably had the Cool, Lupe Fiasco. We had
He was out. He was definitely out in the 2011.
It wasn't very experimental, thinking of that time.
I was listening to Odd Future. I was listening to Odd Future back then. Yeah, I was listening to Odd Future, like Earl Sweatshirt and all them. Shout out to Earl Sweatshirt, Tyler, the creator. I was listening to them. I was listening to Dom Kennedy. I was listening to Nipsey.
Yeah, OPM. Shout out to my guys over at OPM.
Shout out to OPM.
Yeah, they were right like in their pocket 2011 through 2013. Yeah.
And I was listening to like pretty much like like that beginning stages of TDE, pretty much. Shout out, all them again. All TDE, man, all of them. Nice, bro. Nice. And Kendrick too. Shout out to Kendrick. That's PG Lane. Shout out to him.
See, like the
Drake. Shout out to Drake. Shout out to Drake. I was listening to Drake. I was listening to J. Cole. Shout out to J. Cole. There's a lot of people I was listening to now I'm thinking about during this time.
Were you as far as like all this like the synth work that I hear on here, so you were doing all this synth on acid? You didn't have any hardware you were doing this with?
So this one right here, I had a little hardware. I think it was like a little 25 MIDI board, and then like 25 key MIDI board, and then this was also GarageBand. It was GarageBand, and I made this in Honolulu too. Just like how I made Scratches. Like I said, Scratches and Must Be Dreaming. Like I pretty much made those like like how we hear them. It was like how they were made, like type stuff. Like how you heard like Scratches, and then like as soon as like after I got done with Scratches, like I started making Must Be Dreaming, and most of these beats literally only took me like, because back then I used to do like freestyle production, kind of much, like pretty much. And what I mean by that is like I'll hit record and then I'll just like play the parts like all the way through. And you know what I mean? Instead of like
like a single take, instead of looping it or making sections.
I didn't do like the loop stuff. I like sometimes I'll do like the chops and stuff. Like sometimes you'll hear, but like I'll never like do like the loops and stuff like that until like later on you'll start to hear like more looping and stuff, like more concise loops, I say, more precise and right on target, intentional. Just like how like my art is, it's like every stroke is very intentional pause that I do. And there's an album, like I said, I had so many reference points into it, like from even like I said, like the Sandcastle, which that's a reference point to R&R again, like what I mean, like rappers is pterodactyls, like I land on it, smash it, kill it, it's no hassle, like type stuff. It's crazy, like all the references that like kind of like tie back in, and like to even, like I said, like for it, how I end on the track that's called like literally For It outro, and it ends on like nothing, just a beat. And my shout out to my homie 44. We have been working on a project, and we were probably gonna have that project out before the end. Like it'll probably come out like the beginning of 2025 or the end of 2024. No promises though, but like definitely like in the beginning of like 2025, like like springtime, like we'll have it to y'all early. But like it's so it's like a shout out to 44 with 44 tracks on here, and then like it's like another entendre that like how Jordan came back, from the league, like type stuff. Even though I'm not even like technically in the league, but I'm like still competing in a sense, but I'm not competing, like with the industry. You know what I mean? Because like I said, the animal that I'm up against is a whole lot different than what the industry is. Like it is the industry as well, but it's I'm on a different mission here. You know what I mean? I'm gonna keep on making this music and keep on touching lives and hopefully inspiring people and letting them know there's a God out here, and letting them know that they have something to contribute here in this world.
No, for sure. Like 1000%. 1000%. I feel like that last the Must Be Dreaming, I hear a little bit of Daft Punk in it too. I don't know. I like how it kind of coalesced. That's a real chill track. That's one of the best ones. And I like, you got a few that are maybe like 6 minutes, 3 minutes. They're kind of all over the place. I like that you don't hold yourself. There's some people who like all their tracks are 3 minutes and 40 seconds. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I do got like little, like I said, like little secret little bits that's gonna come out that I even have on here that people don't know about. Like I have Tiana as an interlude, I believe that's on here. And it'll also, like, if you end up buying the vinyl, you'll end up, it'll be like little secrets, you know what I mean? Like nuggets on there that I have inside of it. So it's actually like more than 45 tracks, and like you'll see how much it'll be like all together on there. But I wanted to keep it very, Quan Pharoahz, very King Kangish, even because, like I said, King Kang has so many entendres inside of that, the Wrath of King, and I kind of want to keep up like that same magnitude, and keep up that same level of even Sonic, you know what I mean? Because I haven't really heard hip hop like that in a minute. Anybody spit like that in a minute. Not like trying to toot my own horn or anything, but it's just like I haven't heard nobody spit that many entendres like that. Like it's quatendres inside of it, it's triple entendres. You know what I mean? Like in every bar, like, you know what I mean? Like, so it's like I haven't heard anybody do that in a minute. So like, if ever, there's little people that do it. You know what I mean? Like the greats.
Absol's one of the only ones I know who's like that's what he does. Ab and Lupe, like that's just what they do.
And that was like the great, that I used to listen to, you know what I mean? That was like the beginning, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I was listening to the Cool and making the Prototype at the same time, and listening to Pharrell's In My Mind, and listening to the Neptunes Presents the Clones, and listening to A Tribe Called Quest, Midnight Marauders, and what's the Love album, and what else I was listening to, man? SOS band, and the Gap band, and like just so many people, bro. I went crazy.
Do you feel like if you could, right? Like would you make your stuff more live instrumentation? Like do you
That's what I plan on doing for shows. You'll probably see it like, so I'm still like in the middle of like signing like certain contracts and stuff for the tours for next year. You'll see me perform in certain events like vocal performance as as Quan Pharoahz, maybe even as King King, and then you'll also see me produce live instrumentations back again. This is one of my favorites. Her name was. That's off the Visualizer that I made back in 2013, and I also made that last one back in 2013 as well. That last one was made off of GarageBand on the phone, and then
crazy.
Her Name Was made off of Logic. That's when I transitioned, and this is like when I started to transition off the Logic.
Yeah, my I did like a lot of stuff messing with like smooth jazz, and this has a lot of smooth jazz to it, but also I love the little bits of it. You don't go crazy with the smooth jazz because that's easy to overdo. That's easy to overdo.
Yeah, like I learned like from the greats, or I try to learn from the greats. Shout out to the Pete Rocks. Shout out to Dr. Dre.
Well, RZA, if you, I mean,
So,
the
yeah,
RZA
shout out to
Bobby
RZA.
Digital area, like that Bobby Digital time was, you know,
It was
that's
phenomenal, man.
phenomenal, bro.
Shout out to Ye. Shout out, man. There's so many people. Shout out to DJ Clark Kent. Rest in peace, man.
Oh, bro, yeah, almost moment of silence
Moment of
because
silence for DJ Clark Kent.
real talk, yeah, like if people really do the knowledge and do the science, like the world doesn't even look like it does without Dude because he bought hip hop, like he was a nice guy, so he was able to bring hip hop into like Activision Studios for it to be featured in video games. Mark Echoes getting up that video game that wouldn't have happened without Clark Kent. So 50 would have never happened. There would be no there. Jay-Z was told to stop rapping and stop selling crack by Clark Kent. You feel me? Like
the way that he was a marketing genius, bro. He was a marketing genius and so much more than that. You know what I mean?
Because some dudes are just all business, all industry, and he wasn't. He was like very human. You know what I'm saying? I never got to meet.
I never got to meet him, but yeah,
I just heard like firsthand stories, and he touched so many people and
touched me with pop music for sure, man.
Yeah, man. Music. And a hell of a DJ. As a DJ, I don't do a lot of scratching, so I would see him like at the NAMM DJ contests and stuff, and he would do like a little spot or whatever. It was like, holy shit, like he's been doing this for 40 years and he ain't lost a touch. So shout out to the guy. I hope that we I hope that we make you proud in these next decades as we keep this hip hop thing that you built going, bro, because
yeah, for sure, brother.
It's crazy. It's crazy to think of one dude having that much influence, man.
Yeah, so young too, man. Like same, like shout out to Doom, rest in peace. Like I said, like never got to meet him, but like I said, it just kind of goes like full circle. Like the story behind that is like I had a dream where he passed me the mic, and around that time, that's when I started making Pharoahz Forever on the This Is Just a Demo mixtape, and so like it just kind of fitted perfectly. And then that video was actually shot like. For that video, it was actually shot like back in 2015. That was like for the I call it like for the Barcelona era, like the IVBCN. What you like probably I think IVBCN's on this album on INCEPTIONS, like one of them. I got like multiple ones. Actually, you'll hear one of them come out. I think I can talk about it. Pretty soon. Shout out to my homie Dre off of 86. We got a film coming out that we're working on. We'll start shooting it at the end of January. And I hope you guys will like it. It's coming up. And one of those tracks that you'll probably hear off of there definitely is going to be coming from the 2015, 2016 era. And I'm be really proud to unveil it to you guys. I think you guys will like it. All of us I believe, will feel like you guys are gonna really like it. Putting our heart and souls into it, man, like how we always do. So yeah, appreciate you guys for the support, and yeah, keep on going. We're gonna keep on going. That's it.
Yeah, man, getting into the movies. Well, all right, so first, Doom, we're actually coming up on, what is it, 2 years? Like, he passed on Halloween. So definitely rest in peace. Like, I remember when the Food album came out, I stole that from my homie's show. I stole that, and that was one of, I ain't really steal music from people. Nobody ever had nothing I wanted to steal, to tell the truth. Like, I always had the music. So I remember hearing this shit, and I'm like, I have to take this home tonight. I don't care. And shit, I'm stealing his CD. So I took it. I gave it back to him like a month later. I was like, oh, man, you must have left this at the crib. And I remember buying the scratch and sniff version of that. And looking back, I should have kept that wrapped up somewhere. You know what I'm saying? But it was the limited edition scratch and sniff with the poster.
Oh man, yeah, that would have been crazy to have now, man.
I know. I
I'm
look
still
back.
going for all that stuff to keep it 100, and that's like I said, that's another dude that like he pretty much taught me like the blueprint. He taught all of us like the blueprint, and that's like kind of like where King Kang, like I said, emerged from. Like it literally came like from the dream, and like it just kind of like boom, 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 boom. Like I just started to connect the dots like around with the universe, man, and it just really it just goes together so perfectly. It's crazy. Like I said,
I mean,
like even from
I feel like I hear doom and you're rapping. Like when you're rapping, I hear doom, and even this track
appreciate that's
this
crazy.
track that I'm hearing right now, it has some Quasimodo ish. You know what I'm saying? And it's just
Yeah,
like
yeah. I was
like
listening to a
Quas
lot
is
of
huge.
Quasimodo too. Shout out to Quasimodo,
Yeah,
Madlib.
yeah. Shout out to Quas Madlib, bro.
I was listening to like my introduction to Doom was like 2000. Whenever the PSP came out for the first time.
Okay.
And, I was
2002-ish.
I was listening to the RSS feeds, and shout out to Dex Digital again on the mixtapeshow.net that he used to run. I think he's a writer still on Complex or one of them. But yeah, shout out to Dex Digital, bro. He made gold and stuff. I normally don't even put out information like that. That's one of my vaults that I keep on us. You know what I mean? But I'm putting it. It's okay to put it out, man. Like it's okay. Shout out to Dex Digital, bro. That was my first time.
The kids don't even know about that mixtape RSS era. Like right after when the mixtape was at its highest, blogs were coming out that were just music blogs that had daily or weekly drops.
They were so important back in the day, man.
Yes.
Like
yes.
that's another thing
Maestro.
too. Like people don't understand like all the like the nights, like I used to like stay up like all night type stuff like back in 2015, like from like literally like from like day to night to day, like sometimes I'll just be emailing like these bloggers like all day, and like that's when I started to end up getting like these like small like indie magazines. Like I think it was who was it? Rude Boy. Shout out to Rude Boy magazine. I think they're still alive. And then I think they rebranded to like RL or something. But yeah, shout out to Rude Boy magazine. Y'all know who y'all are. And there's some other one too. But yeah, and then next thing I know, I had a show. I think it was out in 2017 at 16. My first show out in Paris with Coast to Coast mixtapes.
Oh, Coast to Coast helped the homies out. They helped us out early as well.
Yeah, shout out to Coast mixtapes, man.
And they were really doing it big because they had like they would have like little showcase shows. Like I remember we did in Miami. That was what was that 2000? It was right after College Dropout dropped. So what 2004 or 2005? Yeah, Coast to Coast mixtapes had an event in Miami. We met Pitbull. It was fire. It was crazy.
Yeah, man. It was like 333, 303, I believe, like somewhere around there. Like at the beginning, at least, because there were people that ended up leaving, like certain people that ended up leaving. And then, but that place was packed. It was inside like a little small. It wasn't too small, but like it was like a pretty compact venue. You know what I mean? And with that many people,
ours was a movie theater,
most
bro.
of it was like, it was pretty much like a movie theater, like type of. It kind of reminded me of like the Matrix, low key, like 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 in Paris, like the architecture is a little bit different. So
with the
it was
pillars
fun.
and all that. Yeah. I can see that. For sure.
It was cool, man.
What's this track? This is still hold on, I looked away. Let's see. Okay, this is Glory, right? So we're into your 2013 era. You're off of GarageBand. This isn't the MPC yet, though, or this is GarageBand.
I'm still using I'm using Logic actually right now. Still, yeah.
Okay.
And R&R I'm using Logic. New Jack Flow, I'm using Logic. Corrupt Society, I'm using Logic. Pharaoh, I'm using Logic. Ode to LA, I'm using Logic. Allah, I'm using Logic. 2.0, I'm using Logic. Limode, which is, it means, it's an acronym. It means lost in my own destruction. Because like I was talking back in my part 1, and I actually did write to this. I just never recorded to it, but I got like a full thing to this and just never recorded to it. I still can. I just don't think that it's appropriate because like it was
It had its time and
it
place.
was too personal. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was too personal. Like during the time, I was going through like the divorce, like during the time, like freshly during that time. So like it was just like perfectly called that and perfectly produced during that time like that. Shout out to the internet, shout out to Sid, all them guys that made that, you know, possible. Like I said, I sampled that. And yeah, that wouldn't be possible without them. But I just got a different ear, you know, like I said, for music, and people don't normally like producer wise. I hear they normally don't. Back then, they didn't like cut like earlier stuff. Should I say like sample earlier stuff? Because that was like from like I believe like their second album that like I sampled from. So I was like, I knew that like niggas wasn't gonna like touch that shit or even like think about it. You know what I mean? Like
For sure. Yeah.
But it's such a beautiful, you know, that's such a beautiful track, and it's a personal track. You can hear it. You know what I mean? So
one thing, I guess, you know, let me ask you this, like, so how much or if any, like training, like actual, you know, traditional
zero,
music.
bro. Zero.
Same on the visual side as well.
Yeah, like, man, zero, man. I did all this stuff like literally. I'm inspired. I just look at things and then I just do it. Like that's literally like I said, like zero. Like it's God, like for sure, straight from the ether. Like it's just me and him. Like,
so that leads you to the next question then, because it's easy for people to critique music. We're in an age where everybody critiques shit, and so people might hear something and they be like fuck out of here, like I could do that or whatever. You know, and nobody really knows how hard it is until they try. And so I guess there's going to be somebody who hears this who's thinking about getting into music, or they hear this and they are inspired. What would you tell them? Like, what would you tell them to do? What would you tell them not to do to kind of, you know, go along this path and get started?
Let me first rebuttal back what I said, because I gotta say I gotta go back to part 1. R&R, this is probably like one of my favorite tracks, by the way, on here too, by the way.
This is fine. This shit is hard.
Yeah, appreciate you, man. You can tell I was listening to a lot of Our Future and L Sweatshirt during that time.
Yeah, boom bap. Hard boom bap on this one.
Yeah, it's like all handmade, man. Like I had that beat inside my head. Like I just had it inside my head, like from start to finish. And we never get to like really finish this one either, but there is a dude that I remember sending to. Shout out to Shaq, I believe his name is.
What, No Life Shaq?
No, not a shout out to Shaq too. Yeah, not Real Life Shaq. It was another Shaq local artist out in San Antonio that works with my homie TA that used to work with him. I did send it to him a long time ago. I believe he did add something to it, but we just never got around to do something with it, you know. But that is me in the beginning, that verse with the altered voice, sounding like Tyler and stuff, like early on. But what I was gonna say, I want to rebuttal back. Shout out to Ashley Kelly, again, out in San Diego. She's my vocal coach. So shout out to them, and my choir teachers and stuff. Like Mr. Zervik and stuff, like in their early age. Like if elementary and stuff, and my mother, you know, I would say. But, you know, other than that, you know, like, when it comes to production, yeah, that's all me, man. Like, it was just like me and my cousin playing on the Magic's Music Maker and on
Oh, yeah, we talked
PlayStation.
about that. On PlayStation 1. PlayStation 2, yeah, I remember that.
And PlayStation 2. And yeah, I just kind of know what to do, like, off the rip, and then just kind of got better, like, as the years went by. That 10,000 hours.
Yeah, like, see, that's the thing. So really, I guess the answer then is like, just do it. Like, just spend the time to do it. And how important is it for you to ask for help? Like, where you want to really ask people to help, or did the collabs come to you?
The collabs did come to me, but most of the time when I was out in San Diego, I did reach out too, because, like I said, we did have clothing line during the time. Shout out to my homies, like, again, in Candy and Quasars. Y'all know y'all are. And this is the one I was talking about that's messed up. So this one had like an actual glitch, like, in the song. Like, my song, like, Dog on Logic actually crashed, and this is like the producer hassles that producers go through, and DJs, you know, like, you go through, like, our equipment crashing, and
Hell
sometimes
yeah.
you can't save it. Yeah. And yeah, so this is what you're physically hearing, man. And honestly, I kept it in here because, one is, like, this was like the only version I had of it that is like the best version of it. Because, like I said, I used to do like freestyle recording. So, like, all the keys and stuff that you're hearing, like, I'm hitting the red button and then just playing it. You know what I mean? All the way through.
And then
Like,
hit it
one by
quantized
one, track by track.
Right. Hit quantize at the end to make it on beat. I used to do that shit too.
Yeah. No, I didn't even used to do quantize. I never used to do quantize, bro. I didn't start doing quantizing until, like, after 2016 or something like that, because I was like, quantize. I didn't even know what quantize was, bro, to keep it 100, until 2016. And then, like, I was like, that's when I started to use it, but, like, I didn't, like, overuse it, because I felt that's, like I said, shout out to Jay Dilla, rest in peace again. I learned from the greats. Like, I learned that in the Nuji beats too, like, in Ye and Kanye West, like, sometimes you gotta color outside the lines, you know what I mean, to make things make sense. And that's how I see music, you know what I mean. And shout out to the Neptunes too. They taught me that too. Like, that's why I was like, I never think of quantizing stuff. Like, I'll quantize, like, people, like MCs, like, but I'll never, like, quantize, like, my beats like that, like, unless, like, I really feel like I had to. Like, there is one that I did, like, back in 2021, that I quantized, but I never do it, bro. But yeah, you hear it, it does kind of go perfect together, bro. It's like, it goes perfect with this art piece that I made, you know what I mean? That I didn't think that it was gonna turn to this, but it did.
Well, it's funny, like, without using like, you know, RZA, Dilla, like you said, a lot of dudes don't use quantizing. Those little imperfections end up being like the greatness in it. And when it comes to a system crash, like, famously, Sheck West Mo Bamba, I don't know, Riot didn't do that beat. I forgot who made that beat, but famously, that one part where the beat dropped, that was his dog. Yeah, his dog.
I'm laughing because I hope you don't come up here and try to shoot us. Don't. I know you got shooters, Shaq.
Don't come at me, dog. Talk to me like a man.
And I know you can hoop, so don't try to come at me 1-on-1, man. Like, even though, hey, man, I got to dunk on my homies, like, pause, like, for the first time, like, yesterday. Y'all know who y'all are, man. Like, I was hooping yesterday. I had the spirit of Kobe, and y'all know what's going on. Rest in peace, man. First time dunking on homies, bro. Like, that's crazy. I had to do it.
That's funny.
But Shaq, don't come at us, dog. Don't come at us.
But, you know, he always tells the story how, like, they were in the session, the DAW froze up, and it just went quiet. And he just had this faith. He just knew that was gonna come back. So he just goes into his verse hard as shit. It's the second verse of Mo Bamba. If you want to go listen to it, it's crazy. That was a fluke. That was an accident, and it ended up being. Bro, I've been to music festivals and seen what that second verse does to people.
Yeah.
People go crazy off of that.
The whole fucking stadium be shaking, man.
Yeah,
I was like, Jesus, man, this is crazy.
But all that came off of an accident. So that goes back to like, you know, making the most out of them situations and keeping it, you know. Don't ever feel like no mistake is really a mistake, you know.
Yeah, this is true. I mean, don't get me wrong, that was a big mistake. You can hear it all the way through in that track, like at the end.
True.
Hey, man,
but
like,
there's some lemonade to be made out of it, you know, eventually.
Yeah, you can make lemonade out of it. Like I said, this is a conceptual anthology chronological, you know, album, bro. Like it just goes all the way through. I wanted to, like I said, it's not every track that I ever made, but it tells a story throughout this whole entire time. It's just something that you know, put inside like your whip and drive, or put on your, you know, your vinyl, you know, and listen to it. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I want people to do.
Yeah, I think so Pharrell has a great, I have it. I forget the name. I think it's called People, Places and Spaces, I think, by Pharrell Williams. It came out like maybe 2013-ish. But in there he has a whole chapter about complex simplicity, about the field of energy that needs to be present for you to know something is right. Like no matter how simple it is, think back to the grinding beat, you know, the Clips grinding beat. He's like, there was just an energy to it, this field of energy that made it amazing. And it is complex, but it's simple. The complexity comes in like the reverb and all the minuscule stuff that you don't hear right away.
Yeah, true that, bro.
You know what I'm saying? Like, but the beat itself, you can do that on lunchroom table. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's
like,
what we used to do. That's what I was about to say, man. He had him and Chad Hugo, shout out to them, had the whole place like heating on the lunch tables, bro, with pencils.
Yes, sir. Every lunchroom across America was hitting that beat, bro.
Yeah, that's another thing like that I was doing, man. Like that's my MC. That's my MC side. Like my MC side, like really emerged like in 6th grade, like where like I first had to like rap on a bus. And like I said, shout out to like Little Vision and TE again. Shout out to my homie that he go by PC out here in San Antonio. We call him Stacy during the time, and we went by background, and we didn't even know that we could even rap during the time. But like we were just like pressed on on the school bus field trip. And everybody just kind of went one by one, like type stuff, and like that's where it kind of started off. Like, and then like, cause I ended up being like a battle rapper, like type thing. Like I battle rap before, like all this. So that's like why I take like my lyrics and stuff like a lot more serious too. Like I can freestyle, but it's not like how it used to be. Like how I freestyle, like really freestyle, like nowadays. Which is like majority of my tracks, like it's like the original freestyle, like how Rakim does it. You know, I just put on the beat and then I just write to it. You know what I mean? Sometimes I have it looping. You know, like sometimes it take a while. Sometimes it might take me a week to write to something. Sometimes it might take me a whole month. Sometimes it might take me a day. Sometimes it might take me 15 minutes. You know, like sometimes it might like I wrote Rings on Ford. I produced that track and I was writing to it at the same time, and I did that in about that's like only like one of the only ones I've ever done that on. I did that like in like 45 minutes, bro. Like the whole track, like written and produced at the same time. I was like, bro, I'm going off. I knew it. Like
yeah, like again, sometimes you just got that field of energy that you're just in it. And if you're in it, stay there until it's finished, you know?
Yeah, you got to, like, because you'll lose it, you know what I mean? Like,
Oh yeah. Oh, I do know what you mean, bro. You forget all
The
the artists for a
rent,
minute.
like that had to like be made like that day. Like rings had to be made like that day. The Wrath of King had to be made like that day, like type thing. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of stuff that I made like in a day, man. But I wish I made Paper Trail in a day. Like I said, I recorded that like 5 different times in like 2 different locations. Like first the Philippines, and then the other was like in Japan.
No, that's fine. Well, those are 2 great places to be recording, though.
Yeah,
sure.
this is true. Yeah. Shout out to Manila, Philippines, and Yokosuka, Japan, and Tokyo, Japan. Dang, man. Yeah, I recorded a lot out there.
No, it's so funny because like you're dead on, and like you're speaking so much to things that I know. Being an artist, I experience so many things you're saying. Some people don't know. Like so many people just put on a track and hit play with no no back thought, no thinking into what it took to make that. And I remember I had a track called 2093 that it took 3-4 days, and we still weren't happy with it. And then just one day, we were in the session, and this other dude named Potsy, R.I.P. to my homie Potsy, but he stepped into the studio, and I swear I got the whole song in one take just from him being there. Like from intro to the track to outro was one take, and we had been working on this shit for days, and nothing changed except for him being there. You know, and so like,
sometimes, man.
Yeah, I was gonna say, bro, like you got them certain people. I could tell you got them certain people that just like, they help you make magic. Who do you say like in your circle are like the most like that? Like the people who just make magic with, like your Chad Hugo. Who are your Chad Hugo dudes?
Like I shout out to my team again, to Zeitgeist, to Walawa, and Josh Dawson, also known as the Soundstage of Music. And Chris Aiello, he's like my photographer. He doesn't do like photography like exactly for me. He has made like artwork though, like for the Zeitgeist. Like I said, and he's like, those are like really my brothers, like my best friends type stuff. So those like the first parts of inspiration, I'll say. Nowadays, the second part I have to say is another extension of that, like my other homies that make the Lost Pharaohs up, T, Lil Vision, my little brother, and then I had to say also my homie Rain, that's a second part of the MCA.
It's homie over in St. Louis. He in St. Louis, right?
Yeah, he's in St. Louis. We're working on that project too, guys. Just give us some time. We'll be up there, recording the project just one by one. You know what I mean? We getting it done. We keeping it on us though, bro. But we getting stuff done though. We got MCA 9 on the QP playlist. We do got MCA 7 on the tuck, and then we have karaoke freestyle. I'm about to drop that on all platforms pretty soon too. I know you guys been waiting on that. I'm gonna drop the A and B versions.
Word. This track right here, Ode to LA, is like literally one of my favorite joints on there. I was already this track, I was really gonna use this for like the backdrop audio for once I complete your city. Like from the minute I heard it, I'm like, this just the aesthetic of like the Eclectic City, like half cyberpunkish but still urban. You know what I'm saying? Like this one has a vibe to it, bro. And so like, why did you call it Ode to LA? Like what made it so like, a tribute to LA to you?
That's home, man. To me, I was in San Diego during the time when I had made it, because I was stationed down there during that time when I had made this, and but I was traveling back and forth back there because I got my cousins up there, Shout out to my cousins. And yeah, man, I just wanted to make something that like the whole city can vibe to. You know what I mean? That like
It's a
really
pop, bro.
brought
It's a
up
pop.
like, you know, something that you can play into a stadium, like some stadium music
Yeah,
gigs.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
And
so
interestingly too, like sonically, it sounds so like it's funny because I'm looking at the playlist right now, and this is the first song that's in the 2014 chapter of it. And sonically, it does feel like it's a new chapter of sound. So like, what changed in 2014? You being stationed, and was it just you being stationed where you were? It was different influences, or what was it?
nah, so it was like the whole time, like yeah, I was like from 2011 on up to 2015, pretty much. Like I was up, like when I made this track, Allah, like I was in San Diego still. I had to probably say just like my group that I was around during that time. Shout out to Corrupt Society. That was my inspiration during that time. Ronald Williams, Black Cinco, J-Dev. He went by Vision during that time. Stasio. Man, like we had a little clique going on, bro. Like I said, that was like the crew during time. That was also, we had like a little clothing line that went along with it. We were Art Collective, and we were out there, like I said, during the little fashion shows and stuff that was out there, and the flea markets and stuff, and even sometimes the malls, like, you know, just like pushing product and getting
The
our
kids
name
don't know.
out there.
The kids don't know. Malls were this thing where people would publicly come and buy merchandise, but you could also sell your mixtapes there.
This is true.
So if you were there during that time, you were selling your mixtapes at the mall, and like, yeah, that's
we were saying
long.
we were selling clothing, man. Like, and boy, did we have a profit off of that. Like like I said, it taught me a whole nother level of game. And shout out to Currency and Wiz. You know, I actually met them, and during that time, during that Candy and Quages process, and like I said, I don't think that would have happened if I wouldn't have went into fashion. So like, shout out to them, and because I learned another part of the game through them, and shout out another inspiration. I gotta say, he's an extension of my family to me. He's actually T's blood uncle. We call him Uncle Reggie. He's was the manager of the Dirty Worms out here in Texas. I don't know if you heard of him or not. Really well known out here in Austin, Texas. Shout out to Strange too, Tech Nine, and all of them. They were large inspirations back then. We were almost signed with them back in 2011.
That's funny. I was just thinking about Strange Music yesterday. I was just thinking about them because being from the Midwest, man, like they were a big deal to us. And like Tech was like this bigger than life dude who he would jump on a track with Eminem for the Sway freestyle or whatever. But then he would be like at an ECW wrestling shit. Like, you know, he was just this dude who was everywhere, but we didn't realize how important it was that he was independent. We never, when we were kids, we didn't get that. We didn't know how he moved like that. And then later on found out he was a genius business-wise, you know?
Yeah. And that's what I mean. Like, Uncle Reggie, you know, he taught me how to, you know, all of us how to be independent early on when we were kids. And like you said, we didn't really understand it during that time. At least I didn't really think I did, because, you know, like I said, I stayed independent the whole entire time. This is one of my favorite tracks too, Museums 2.0. The Museums 1.0 is, I kept that off. You might hear it on the track. If you buy the album, maybe. I don't know, guys. Like I said, the vinyl. Like I said, it will be expensive though. That's the thing that having issues with right now, to be honest. I'm trying to keep it under, you know, a certain under $100. They're trying to make it over $100 because it is expensive to make
Vinyl.
vinyl. And plus, like, the amount of stuff that I am giving you guys is a lot. So like I do understand it, but I am fighting to try to get, you know, at 75 at least for now. But like I said, this is gonna be. I want this to be a growing, you know, living art piece that people hold. So like this is gonna keep on going up pretty much until I die, and this is gonna be, you know, that one thing, that one album that I can pass down to my family. Other than, you know, the art pieces that I made, and I got like over 500 plus art pieces too that people don't even know about. That were actual art pieces, like actual paint. There's Photoshop, it's iPhone, like Wacom, you name it, man. Like I used a lot of this stuff back then and on up here. That I still have yet to do, and that's what my book is going to be highlighting. That I'll be working on here pretty soon. You guys will see it the beginning of next year out, and it'll be highlighting all my artwork. And you'll see this artwork inside of there, you know, from 2012. You can even see like a extra bonus edition of this artwork on my Instagram. That I posted at 2013 if you scroll on there. So like I said, and then if you go on my Facebook, like I said, you can see that I posted the first time that this artwork emerged was in 2012. So it's like I said, it's very cool, like how just everything emerged together.
So that's one really fly thing that I think what I'm doing in the Eclectic City, because I think like your project, just like mine, it spans through a lot of time and space, and so I want to do the same for yours. Is like we should make it so that it tells the story chronologically. You know, nice thing about owning your own servers, I can backdate stuff to put things in there, to put them in their proper time, like when they actually occurred. So like, I think that'd be like a fly bonus down the line. You know, we'll have an Eclectic City tower that people can visit that will literally kind of lay out the anthology, the timeline of stuff, and you'll be able to see how, yeah, maybe it all coalesced in 2024, but it started, you know, with a small idea in 2013. Because people find inspiration in that. It tells people not to give up on them ideas, you know?
Yeah. I also wanted to like just show like sonically like what I can do and like kind of like what to expect, because it's like it's still like continuing on to tell a story, like in a sense. Like I said, like you hear sprinkles of vocals inside of here, but you don't hear like all type of vocals, and it's like a dream. Like I said, it's Inceptions. It's Quan Pharoahz, you know, falling through this other realities, trying to, you know, get back to whoever he is, you know, is trying to find like immortality, but he's never going to find that immortality, you know, really, even though he's already found that immortality, like with music, you know. But as an MC, you know, the MCs always are trying to be, you know, the greatest. And so that's what he's searching for, and that's why you're here King emerge. But first you're here like the red and the blue versions, like I said, and like I said, it's really cool to see how like it emerged, because it goes from forward and or like from like this is just a demo mixtapes to forward to and it's like this dark gloomy, you know, world, to like now Inceptions is like very colorful, you know what I mean, very bright, and then going into the red and the blue versions, and then even the 44 album collab that I'm going to get ready to do, like I said, that is going to be very colorful. So like I said too, so it's like ending things with color is going to be a really dope process. What I planned on doing too, and this is stuff that like I didn't plan like years ago. Like this is stuff like I end up making up like during the process, that now is just like all connecting together perfectly. You know what I mean? Like, and then like I don't like I said, this is just God like working through me, through artistry. And it's speaking a lot of volumes, bro, because it's like I made this, you know what I mean? It's very cool. Like all these tracks, I made all these tracks, put my heart and soul into them, and some of these tracks, you know, I wasn't going through the best of times, and some of these tracks I was going through the best of times. You know what I mean? So it's a
Now
very
tell me,
duality track, you know,
well,
or duality type album.
you mentioned this track specifically, the Lost in My Own Dimension, right?
Lost in My Own Destruction. Yeah.
Destruction. Yeah. What do you mean by that title?
This is exactly what it was, you know, what it was meant, because it was a
I'm gonna
lot
play
of
that
us
again.
men during that time, brother. Like we just gotta take accountability for our actions. I wasn't ready to be married, I believe, during the time, both me and my ex-wife during the time. Because we both weren't accountable for our actions, and but there's this me as a man, you know, as a young man during that time, you know, looking back, I could have done so many things better. And during that time, you know, I was watching, you know, my world fall apart. Because around the time when I made Pharaoh, that's when and like I said in the beginning, there's this track that you'll hear and that I have on here, I believe. It's a secret. But it's just not on the actual album right here.
Gotcha.
But you'll hear it on the vinyl. Around the times, but so in 2011, that's when I had my firstborn child, Tiana. Shout out to my firstborn child, Tiana. She's probably gonna be embarrassed. But yeah, that was my firstborn daughter. And then around the time when I had Pharaoh, that was when I had my secondborn daughter. And then ironically too, Pharaoh is my firstborn son now. So that's his name. And he was just born last year. Yeah, so that's his middle name.
Yeah.
His first
You know
name's
what's funny?
Zachariah, but his middle name's Pharaoh. I named him Pharaoh. Yeah.
The only reason why we didn't, right? We had our second kid just earlier this year. We had our first in 2020. I wanted to do the same. I was like, yo, I want to name Pharaoh. And then Kanye started bugging, talking about, you know, Jewish people and all that. I was like,
yeah.
like, damn it.
I mean, like, to be honest, man, like, Pharaoh is like not a real Egyptian word. Like, it's like more of like a Greek word, but like, I just like the word. So I do have Egyptian roots inside of me. It's like actual Egyptian roots inside of me that I don't let people know about, but I actually do have that inside of me, and that's like where that name Pharaoh's even emerged from. Because after I came back from my deployment in 2011, I did a DNA test, and that's when I found out like a lot about myself. And even going out there, you find out a lot about yourself. You know what I mean? So it was real cool, man.
That's crazy. That's a Greek word. A lot of people, I mean, the Greek and Egyptian, that whole connection goes really deep.
Cleopatra, thanks to her.
Yeah. Well, it's funny. I dated a Greek girl. Her grandma was named Cleopatra. I'm like, what the hell? And so,
scary stuff.
Cleopatra,
like, don't get me wrong. Like, I love Cleopatra, like the story of her, man. But she was very like
she was ill, bro. She was
very ruthless, bro. She was like talk about like Rihanna said that she was a savage. Like nah, like Cleopatra like killed like her own family members type stuff.
Yeah, exactly. And starting whole dynasty wars and like, you know, actually preventing a dynasty war if you really want to be real about it. But
yeah, this is true. That's why I said I love the story of Cleopatra, but man, she was ruthless. No, she was ruthless.
It's so ill though because
she was Greek.
No, see that's the thing. She was actually Egyptian, but then she moved when she married what's his name? Was it King Alexander, whoever it was, the Greek king at the time. He was like the big dude. I'm telling the story all wrong, but some Greek ruler had come over to trade. He met Cleopatra, got infatuated with her, moved her over there to Greece. Yeah. So she was living in Greece as a queen of Egypt. You know what I'm saying? It was wild. Yeah,
things we do for love, man. It's crazy.
Yeah, bro.
Crashing out. I mean, look at Troy, bro. Look at Troy, bro. Like, it's crazy.
But that's a different crash out. Like when you talking about the
lost
Egyptian...
in my own destruction, bro. That's what. Yeah, that's what it was, brother.
Full circle work. Okay, okay. That's fire. That's fire. See, like this is about as far as I got on my first listen. This track right here was the last joint that I heard, so I didn't even hear nothing after this on my first listen. So
so this is Pac samples. This is me going back and forth to LA like during the time. I think I actually produced this one in LA. And shout out to my homie Crispy. Shout out to Giamaza. I was making that during the time. They had like a little like deaf poetry jam and stuff going on. And, yeah, I was just like inspired by that during the time when I had made this track.
It's dope because like I love some of these titles too, like Los Vangelis. That's a cold name. What is that like? What does that name mean?
Shout out to Vangelis, the band, sample where I got it from. And then shout out to Los Angeles, you know, the city that I love. Yeah, that's a story. Boom, right
that's
there.
Right. Vangelis. I gotta look them up. That's kind of, I like that name, the Los Vangelis.
Yeah, man. I was really just going for, you could hear I was going for a different sound during that time. I was like probably, I think I had to definitely be inspired by like Travis Scott during that time. I'm in the Watch the Throne album. Like for sure, I was probably listening to that. Yeah. Oh, I was listening to a lot of Hit Boy during that time too. During 2014, shout out to Hit Boy. Shout out to Big Hit, Free Big Hit again.
Free Big Hit, yeah.
Yeah, sure. Free Big Hit, man. But yeah, I was listening to a lot of Hit Boy during this time too. During this specific time when I made Pac samples, yeah. I think he dropped like Automatically or something around that time, or at least around like 2015, like around that time, like he had dropped Automatically. I was listening to that like every day, man, because I felt like that. You know, I feel like there's a lot of producers that feel like that.
What's crazy, you mentioned Big Hit on the last time that we talked, and so like I had heard of Bro, and I had heard some of his stuff like here and there, but then like since we did that last one, the algorithm fed me a bunch of Big Hit, and I first of all I didn't know how influential and how tied in he was with people, but then like his sound is not just what I thought it was. He's got a lot more skill than I had heard on the first few tracks. You know?
Yeah, man. Like I wish I still had it like that freestyle wise, man. Like I said, he's the only one I feel like, as far as like older cats, like out here, not to be rude, like you know what I mean. Like that's because I'm only 33, but like he can still spit. You know what I mean? Like off the head,
like a young dude. Yeah, like a young dude.
Yeah, like, with the best of them. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like he'll rap you underneath the table type shit. So it's like you gotta come correct. Like you come with that, you know what I mean? Like with that whole establishment too. Shout out Alchemist and all of them, you know what I mean? So I was listening, you know, to all these things, you know, during that time, all these groups, all these people that inspired me, you know, to just really just like challenge the sonics, you know, that's been going on. Like I agree with Dr. Dre in a sense. You know, everybody's using the same, you know, sonics in a sense, the same 808s and same drum kits, the same, you know, whatever. But I was even talking to my homies before, like, you know, Lil Vision and TE. Like I was like I gave like even you know, to my homies, like my group, like I'm like, cause I'm the type of producer, like I'm not stingy, like with my sounds. Like I didn't gave like my whole sounds to people, over 16,000 sounds.
Mm-hmm.
And then and everybody sounds different. You know what I mean? Everybody has their own sound, even though I gave them my sounds. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, and that's what I love about it. You know what I mean? Like, you get to hear everybody's sound. You know what I mean? Like, it's like everybody has like that. Their soul speaks differently. Everybody sees like the music differently and tastes it or hears it and sees it, feels it differently. You know what I mean? And I think that's really cool. That's another thing what draws me to music so passionately. You know what I mean?
Well, that's a you know, it's a huge point actually, and I think of like producers. There are producers who are artists, who are just visionary, who are generous with their tactics and with their sounds, like Flume, Jake One, you know, even Alchemist used to put out packs of instrumentals, you know, back in the day. Sycamore, dudes like that who would do that. That's not a smart business move, and that kind of shows you where their heart is. They're not concerned with the business part of it. They want people to be inspired from their art. You know, they want to help put this out so more people can create with these. Because you're right, like you give the same sound pack to 6 producers, you're gonna get 6 different complete vibes out of it. You know what I'm saying?
And that's what I wanted to do. That's what I was inspired by, like too. Like I said, like definitely by my homie Josh Dawson and Walawa, but like more, and then like I said, in Alchemist, like and Jay Dilla, like and you know RZA, like seeing all and Ye, like remembering like how things used to be, like with the packs, like with the albums that they used to come out with, like. Because the albums like were like pretty much facts, but like they weren't facts. Like, you know what I mean? Because like
I know exactly what you mean. Yep.
You know, me out in Texas, like that was like hard. In LA and South Carolina, like that stuff was hard to get. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
it was a very New York. It was a very New York thing. You had to go out there to get them a lot of times.
Yeah, man. So it was like it was hard to get those things like sometimes. And the RSS feed, by the way, like. Since we get to like really clarify, like that was like pretty much like a podcast, like the first edition. Correct. They used to call that like that's like the first podcast pretty much. So that's what I mean by like RSS feeds. Like real, you know, the OGs know with the PSPs, they know.
Yeah, and so for those who don't, it was like so you hit same way like you hit subscribe on YouTube and you get notified with new content. RSS was you would hit the RSS link and then you would get an email just saying, I don't know, Mixtape Maestro dropped something new. You didn't know what was in it. You just knew he dropped a bunch of new shit and you had to go immediately. You remember sometimes stuff would get taken down or the blog would end up getting burnt out. You know, the link would get burnt out. So like you had to be first on them joints.
Yeah. I think it's like really simple syndication. I think it used to mean or something.
Yep. Good job. That's exactly what it meant. Yep. And I mean, shout out to like Cloudflare and like the companies that still support RSS. Patreon still supports RSS. So it's
Ultraviolet too. Ultraviolet, that's the one I use. But you're gonna see me on Patreon very soon, guys.
Yeah. And it's not, I mean, like, you know, I feel like stuff like that's coming back. Same way, you know, there's a huge market for old MP3 players and even Discman, like the old CD portables. Like a lot of that's coming back because it doesn't have all the distractions. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Music.
This is one of my favorite tracks too that I produced, even though it's really sad.
No, but the bass on it goes hard.
Yeah,
it's just different.
Man.
Yeah,
I was up for like 5 days straight during this track, and like literally, and I wasn't sober, bro. Like I was like damn near like on my deathbed. I was like, it was just a bad time, but yeah, I produced this like on the 5th day, and I had like painted like this Travis Scott piece like on that same day. It was pretty cool.
Hard to Sleep. That was called Hard to Sleep. Yeah.
It was hard to see.
This is crazy.
Appreciate you, man.
Yeah, bro. I mean, like, see what's crazy? We still got half the project left, so it's on you because if we want to, this is the last one that's part of the 2014 collection. So if we wanted to, we could stop here, pick it back up, and do the second half. Or
Yeah, we
I
could
don't
do
know what.
that. We could do
Yeah,
that. We could do that. That's
because
straight.
I feel like the last. First of all, our last broadcast was
3 hours.
3 hours. And the average listen time, I think the average listen time is just about 20. Wait, I don't know, maybe 20 minutes to an hour, because it's messed up right now. My feed, like all my analytics, is messed up. But I believe it was an hour was the average time people listened on that one. So I want to make this one definitely more digestible.
1
But
hour
for
and
those,
20 minutes. That's what it was. You told me.
yeah, there was 1 hour 20. So literally, I want to make this more digestible, and I want to give people a chance. I don't want to give away everything, right? I want to give people a chance to go discover the music for themselves. The links are going to be down that description, because we're talking over it. You know what I'm saying? I want people to go in and actually enjoy this, and then be like, oh, that's what he was talking about, you know?
Dezersky.
Yeah. So yeah, bro, like I'm glad. I'm always glad when we get to do this stuff, bro. We're gonna make this. It seems like we're gonna be doing this every week or every other week, bro.
Oh yeah, I'm down with it, man. If you guys are down with it, I'm down with it. I'm definitely gonna be here. I'm still gonna be making music. We still gonna be making these tracks. Like I said, we got the tour coming up next year. New pieces coming out next year. New pieces coming out in the next couple of weeks, even. So guys, look out for that. I appreciate you guys for the support, man.
Yeah, bro. And if nobody's told you yet, bro, I'm proud of you on this one, dog. This is a great body of work, and even more so now that I know there's more to it. I was impressed with the pieces I already had heard, but like, you know, knowing the backstory, knowing the dedication it took for all this, is something to be proud of. And it's like, you know, make sure that you take the time to celebrate yourself. A lot of artists, we just get in this vibe of, yo, I'm gonna put this out, I'm gonna tell everybody about it, I'm gonna wait for feedback. You don't need feedback, bro. Celebrate it yourself. Like, be proud of what you put out. You know what I'm saying?
I'm still like in Mamba mode, bro. I'm like I'm already working on other projects and stuff. You know what I mean? So, like I said, it's the job's not finished. Like tight stuff.
But,
you know what I mean?
make the time to take that time, though. For real, for real.
Appreciate you, brother. I appreciate you. I will do that, man. Thank you, man.
All right, dog. I'll check in with you later on the week. I'm gonna put this out. I'm gonna go ahead and chop this up tonight so it can drop tomorrow, so people can enjoy this for Halloween, Brody.
Appreciate you, man. I got it out free for you guys for right now. By 1 p.m. Today, it will be at $6. But right now, you guys can listen to it for free, courtesy of the Eclectic City. Thank you guys for rocking out with me.
You dig. All right, bro. I'll be up with you. Have a good night, and we'll talk soon, Brody.
Talk soon. Appreciate you. Peace.
Yeah. Peace.
E-City Music.
Word, that was Quan Pharoahz. Y'all don't forget, check out the INCEPTIONS instrumental album right now, streaming on Audius and coming to all DSPs on November 3rd, exclusively right now in the Eclectic City. You're going to hear this for freezy. He's landed out for free. You hit that link down there. It's free until 1 p.m. on Halloween. So, you know what I'm saying? Happy Halloween. Trick or treat. Enjoy some good music. You feel me? Don't forget, manifest positivity, manifest your creations, make everything that you want to be in this universe, make it happen, and let the energy pass through your device right now, help bring some peace into this troubled world, a little bit of light into the darkness. You know how we get down. Until next time, y'all.
The Eclectic City, the Eclectic City, the Eclectic City, the Eclectic City. E-City Music.